Okay, so welcome to Yin today. So let's sit on our blankets or pillows or props for just a few minutes during the first part of our class, and then we'll move to lying on our backs in just a few minutes. But let's go ahead and sit and find a comfortable seat. So, whatever that means for you today. And we're going to close our eyes and just check in with ourselves. So notice if we're feeling any tension anywhere in the body, or maybe we have a really active mind today. Let's just consciously take some nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. And just feeling ourselves getting ready to settle into our practice. So we'll start our yin practice. We chant the sound of Om just once. Then I'll recite our intention. And as I pause, you can just repeat it to yourself or out loud if you'd like. So let's start with the sound of Om together. Deep breath in. May I be free from fear and harm. May I be content as I am. May I be at peace with whatever comes. Maybe there's your own intention that you would like to set for practice today. And just begin to notice the breath a little bit deeper. So as we breathe in and out through our nose, take a large inhale and expand the lower diaphragm. Inhale continues up, expanding the chest, the upper lungs. And then we exhale really slow, nice and long, again through the nose, relaxing and softening. So let's just notice that for the next minute or so. And then slowly bringing your awareness back into the room, seeing how you feel after that little bit of practice. So the breath is a really important part of our practice. I'll mention it numerous times as we get into our poses today. So we're going to start with the strap, and we're going to come onto our back. So I'm going to put the pillow underneath my head, but blanket underneath my head, but you don't have to, just whatever feels good for you. So notice I'm starting with my feet on the mat and my knees up. So yin is a practice of holding these poses for a good length of time. You don't have to worry about it because I will map the time out for you. All you need to do is to relax. So we're going to start by taking the right foot up into the air, and we're going to place that strap right behind the toes as we lift the leg straight up. Now you have a hold of the strap, but keep the shoulders relaxed. So keep the neck and head and shoulders relaxed as you stretch the hamstring. Good. So nice flexed foot, heel up towards the ceiling. Start to draw the leg towards you until you feel that stretch, and it just becomes slightly uncomfortable. When you found that uncomfortable spot, that's where you're going to stay. If at any time it becomes too comfortable, then you can change it a little bit and make it a little bit more uncomfortable. So we want to find that discomfort in our yin practice. That's where all the beauty of the pose lies. Okay, so now that you've got the pose, relax the shoulders, relax the face. And start to breathe in and out through the nose, just feeling this nice energy moving up the back of the leg, into the foot, into the toes. So we try to keep the pose nice and still in yin and just concentrate on the breath. And check to make sure you're not holding onto the strap too tight. You're not clenching the jaw in any way. And if you need to make the pose a little stronger, just keep drawing the leg towards you, finding that deepest stretch for you today. And taking your time, we're going to slowly bend this knee, release the strap from this side. May feel good to rotate the ankle a little bit, stretch out the foot, shake out the leg if you need to. Good. All right. Let's place that foot to the floor. And we'll take the strap on our left foot. Extend it up towards the ceiling. Good. Make everything comfortable, shoulders, back, neck. Beginning to draw the leg towards you. Find a little bit of discomfort there. Good. And pause. Beautiful. Let's begin to breathe as you settle into the pose. Make the pose still, the breath long and deep. Take your time releasing this side. You can go ahead and put the strap off to the side for a few moments. Let's rotate the ankle, stretch out the leg, see how it feels. We're just going to do a simple twist next. So let's go ahead and draw the knees in towards the chest. I want you to feel that low back nice and comfortable against your mat. So this is just a real simple, easy twist. Let's drop the knees over to the left. So if the knees can stay together and feet can stay together, great. If they can't, you can put a blanket, a block, or any prop in between them so that we can rest here. So the idea of yin is to rest in the pose as much as you can. So the closer the knees are towards the chest, the more stretch you're going to get into the low back. So you decide how it feels. So we've got these arms. So let's go ahead and stretch them out in a nice T position. We'll turn our palms up and maybe even feel a little shoulder release at the same time. If the shoulders can come down to the mat, great. If not, you can place again any kind of prop underneath your shoulder to relax it. And I just keep my gaze up to keep my neck neutral, and you can close your eyes from there if you'd like. And let's just focus on this breath in this right side of the body. So we're exposing the right rib cage, the right kidney. Let's breathe really deeply into those areas. Maybe we even feel a little stretch in our digestive system. So let's take a nice deep breath and come back to the center. Take a moment, draw both knees back in towards the chest, checking in with your low back. And then we'll go ahead and drop the knees down to the right side. Again, making any allowances that you need to. Maybe a prop between the knees or under the shoulders. We'll continue to stretch the arms out in a nice T position with the palms up and the shoulders relaxed as much as possible. So bring your breath awareness into this left side of the body, left rib cage, left lung, left kidney. And if you're feeling it down into the outer hip or low back, include that in your breath awareness, the energy there. On the inhale, let's come back to the center. Go ahead and draw the knees in towards the chest. So let's roll to your side and come up to your comfortable seat. And I'm going to put this blanket underneath me again. So I'm sitting on a little bit of a blanket or a pillow. And we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. So sometimes this pose is challenging. So if it is, you can put props underneath the knees if you need to. You can also take a bolster, blanket, pillows if you want to. We're going to come forward, so you may want to rest your head. If you don't need it, you can bring your self all the way down. So just find where it works best for you today. And I usually like to bring the feet a little bit farther away from the body than you're used to, because you know you're here for a little bit of time. And so we have gravity just opening us up in probably more challenging ways than you're used to. So let's wiggle around for a moment, find ourselves getting comfortable here. Yeah, all kinds of props are great. We want our belly to be resting on something. And if you can rest your head, your forehead on your hands or a prop too, that is awesome. So good. As you get comfortable as much as you can here, see if you can soften the belly, soften the throat. Feel the stretch, maybe inner groin, outer hips, maybe even a little bit low back. And just feel yourself relaxing a little bit deeper. Again, there's a little bit of discomfort here, no pain. If you find any pain, you need to come out of it and adjust the pose a little bit. If you can find some discomfort, let's take a deep breath and just settle in. A nice long inhale. Let's slowly rise up. And go ahead and stretch those legs out. Nice and gentle with yourself. Shaking out the legs. So one of my favorite poses is pigeon, and not everybody's favorite pose, but it's definitely mine. So you may want to use a blanket, but I'll show it to you first. So let's start with the left side. So take that left knee all the way up, and we'll bring that right leg back. So the idea in pigeon is to have the pelvis even, so the hips even. So if we're leaning really a lot to the right, to your left, maybe you can take a blanket and put it underneath your butt there, just to even things out a little bit. You're also welcome to maybe place a pillow in front of you because we're going to come forward. So you may want to do that. If you can come all the way down, that's great. If you can't, you're just welcome to rest where you can, maybe tucking your chin in towards the chest slightly. So if your left leg is forward, you should be feeling this stretch in the left butt cheek over here and probably maybe left quadricep. Some people will also feel it in the right inner hip over here on this back leg. So wherever it feels like you can get a good stretch without any pain, okay? And if you need to come out of it before we do in our practice today, you can just lean a little bit to the left and just take a little bit of a break and come back in if you can. All right, take a nice deep breath again. Beautiful pose to feel the effects of gravity. So gravity is just pulling us down here. Going to enjoy it and release. So this pose can be associated with some trauma, especially for women. We hold a lot of trauma in this fascia muscle tissue here that we're working on. So just be gentle with yourself. Feel the breath. Allow yourself to relax as much as you can. And if something comes up, just know that it will pass and you can breathe, you can relax, you can get out of it, whatever you need. One of the great things about yin is we work into the deep fascia tissue where all of our trauma, past, present, ancestral trauma, is all stored in our fascia muscle tissue. So the longer we stay in poses and we can relax into the pose, the more we will release this trauma, even if we've been born with it or carried it with us through the womb or it's new. Body doesn't really know the difference, you know. It's all the same to the body. Maybe you have an intention or you want to repeat the intention that we did at the beginning of class, or have a blessing or a prayer, something that you like to repeat to yourself when you need to relax. All right, so be gentle with yourself as you come out of this one. I just like to lean to my side, and we're gonna come onto hands and knees for a minute before we do the next side. So if we come onto hands and knees, let's just do a little bit of our cat-cow before we go to the other pigeon. So this is a nice balance. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Inhale, bringing the chest forward. Exhale, drawing the belly in, tucking the chin in towards the chest. And try to make this really slow and sweet. So we don't do movement in yin. Usually it's just pretty stable, but sometimes a transition feels pretty good on our spine. All right, you ready for the other side? Let's go ahead and work on the other side of our pigeon, which I think is your right leg forward this time. So again, you can place a blanket underneath this, but if you need to, just to make things a little bit more even. Again, sometimes this pose takes a little wiggling around to find the best position. So now that you know what it felt like on the other side, just find it on here. Okay, some nice deep breaths and just settle in. All right, so let's gently come out of this one. And we'll move back into that cat-cow for just a minute before we go into our final two poses. So just feel that nice release of the spine here. Deep, slow breaths. All right, our final pose before Shavasana is going to be child's pose. Everybody's favorite, right? So let's stretch the knees out really wide. Bring the big toes together. And as we come down, if you want to blanket underneath your belly or your head, feel free. Otherwise, you can just rest your head into the mat. Now, if this is too much for your knees, you can come up into puppy pose instead, which I'll demonstrate right here if you decide you want to do that instead. So if you're in child's pose, feel sinking of the butt down towards your heels. Feel the head release to the earth or to your blanket. And let's really relax the shoulders. So put the arms in whatever position feels like you can release the shoulders a little bit. And just find a nice full breath. See if you can start to stay with a little quieter mind. So maybe some time between thoughts. Slowly release from child's pose. Maybe as you come up to hands and knees, just take a few moments to stretch the legs out, release any feet or hips. Maybe a couple cat cows if that feels good. If you're ready for our final pose of Shavasana, you're welcome to slowly move into that. So for Yin, Shavasana is just a slight difference, and you don't have to do it if you'd like, but they suggest that you bring your legs out nice and wide and your arms out nice and wide, so you resemble the letter X. But if this isn't working for you, you just make yourself the most comfortable Shavasana that you can, adding blankets or props wherever you need them. So at the beginning part of your Shavasana, go ahead and take a few moments to just check in with your breath. Maybe assess, how do you feel now at the end of class? How does your mind feel? How does your body feel? Can you get the exhale just a little bit longer so we can soften again? So begin to take some nice full breaths, just bringing your awareness back into your beautiful space. When you're ready to join us, draw your knees in towards your chest and just gently roll to one side. Perhaps one of the greatest rewards of meditation and prayer is the sense of belonging that comes to us. We no longer live in a completely hostile world. We no longer lost and frightened and purposeless. The moment we catch even a glimpse of the divine will, the moment we begin to see the truth, justice, and love as real and eternal things in life, we are no longer deeply disturbed by all the seeming evidence to the contrary that surrounds us. And please come up to join me as we bring our hands to our heart. In gratitude for just showing up on our mats today, giving ourselves this gift, practice, silence, stillness. We'll end with one final Om. So when you're ready, deep breath in. Namaste.